Okay, we're going to take a look at distances between two locations in nautical miles and working out the average speed in knots. So, here's a question. A ship travels along a meridian of longitude from 24 degrees south, 156 east to 31 degrees south, 156 east in 12 hours. How far has the ship travelled in kilometres and nautical miles? Okay, well, it's telling us it's travelling along a longitude, okay, but we can see that from the question because we've got 156 east and 156 east here. So it's travelling north-south. That's horrible. Okay, travelling north-south, and we can see that it's going from 24 south to 31 south. So it's going further south, so it's going from a point to another point, travelling south. Okay, now first thing we need to do is we need to think. Okay, it's the same longitude. What does that mean for our working out, our calculation? It means we don't have to consider the fact that the circles get smaller as they go, because lines of longitude are all the same length. So here we go. We can do this now. We can go latitude difference is 31 degrees, take away 24 degrees, okay, because they're both south, they're both on the same side, so it's take away, okay, which is going to be 7 degrees latitude difference. And because they're on the same longitude, we don't have to work out a scaling factor, it's just going to be, okay, distance is going to be 111.2 kilometres times 7 degrees. If I go to my calculator, that's 111.2 times 7, 778.4 kilometres. Okay. Now, let's work out how far the ship has travelled in nautical miles. Okay, so we're going to go distance in nautical miles is going to be our kilometres, okay, divided by 1.852. So it's going to be 778.4 divided by 1.852 is divided by 1.852, 420.30 nautical miles. Now, what is the ship's average speed in kilometres an hour and knots? Okay, well, we're going to be using the same triangle, distance, speed, time triangle. Remember, distance always goes on top. The other two doesn't really matter where they go. And we're going to be working out the speed. So if I hover over the speed, the other ones that are left are distance divided by time. So I'm going to write down the formula. Okay, speed, and let's do the kilometres first. Okay, is going to be distance divided by time, which is 778.4 kilometres divided by 12 hours is a speed of 778.4 divided by 12, 64.87. Let's make that a round, curvy one. Kilometres per hour. Remember, if we put kilometres into the triangle and hours, we get kilometres per hour. Okay, let's do the speed again, but this time I'm going to get in knots. It's going to be the same formula. Distance divided by time, except if we put nautical miles and hours in, we get knots. So let's put in 420.3 nautical miles divided by 12 hours gives us 420.3 divided by 12, 35 knots. 35 knots. Okay, so the answer of how fast it's travelling in those 12 hours, okay, its average speed was 64.87 kilometres an hour, or 35 knots. And that is a pretty straightforward travelling on the line of longitude question.